PETA, podcast every day in April, where during the month of April you'll hear about different topics and different stories and discussions that I have on my mind and on my heart to discuss and address for this month. It may be sports related, it may be stuff related. You may even hear some guests on the show that you may haven't even seen or heard from me addressing on the show. But this is PETA, and this is Podcast Every Day in April. Hope you enjoy. What's going on, y'all? It's the Pass Back with yet another episode. Episode 161 is here. Continuing podcast every day in April. I do want to let you all know that I appreciate everyone's time of listening in, checking out the shows. I did know that I did my best attempt of addressing and talking about The Secret yesterday. So talking about that, we'll kind of have a good topic to talk about today. If you notice by the title, I'll get into that in just a moment. Of course, let's get all of the housework out of the way. Podcasts are uploaded each day using the Spreaker.com website. If you're looking to get into podcasting, I definitely would recommend that. And if you're looking to invest in getting a microphone, I personally am using the Blue Yeti microphone. It's kind of been my go-to for almost a year and a half now. So it's this, as the saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I've found this to be my Bay recording, and it's just worked ever since. So we're not gonna really do a lot of extra wheeling and dealing and spilling with this podcast. Just gonna jump right into the topic. Building broken bridges. This is a very, 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 very broad topic, and I want to make sure that I address it properly. I finally have water. That's what I was kind of breaking my neck to look for, because past couple of episodes I've been sitting here talking to y'all and not having anything to keep me hydrated and together. But still learning, still adjusting, even with doing this for over 2 years. But anyways, I wanted to talk about this because I feel as though by nature some of us are fixers, some of us are healers, some of us want things to kind of come together and just work themselves out. Well, I'm here to share with you all and give you the good news and the reality that it's not going to always be that way. And here's why I say that. Many times, if a bridge, and we'll take it away from the context itself and look at it from a general and realistic standpoint. If you, as a person, are driving down the road and there's you're getting ready to come to a bridge, to give it in a more realistic scenario, if the bridge was not of working capability where you could go across it, there's usually going to be a sign up that says this bridge is broken, under construction, or we're working to get it, fixed back together, or whatever the case may be. An even better scenario, or even more realistic example, is the highway. When you go on the highway, or if you're driving to certain places, there are usually construction sites that will let you know, hey, this road or this block is going to be down. You may want to go this direction, or you need to go an alternative route. As a driver, or as a person who's trying to get somewhere, you can't get out of the car. As much as you may want to, you can't get out of the car and quote unquote go try to fix it. As bad as you would love to be that person to come along and fix things and have stuff resolve and work itself out, it's not that simple. As with anything in life, someone has to come along, fix it, and then either that road will be drivable again, or in some instances, the bridge may not be able to be fixed. Now, of course, I'm using a realistic bridge as an example, but in life, there are some bridges and there are some roads that once that road has been crossed, there's no need of going back down that road again. So I'm gonna I'm giving you all, this is gonna be an open talk, open discussion, because I don't want it to, this isn't like me throwing shots at anybody, and I know I say that very frequently, but I'm just saying it because it's something that we really sometimes have to understand. Many times messages are said or taken, and we run with it and it's taken personal. In reality, some of you may listen to it and say, that don't have nothing to do with me. Why is he saying that? And you're probably right. But I want to share that some things and some people, it's easier and much better to just kind of, I want to say, take your losses and learn from it and move on. But you have to kind of learn that was an attempt, it was an effort, and there's no need trying to fix it. I'm sharing this story somewhat from a personal standpoint with something that I did, and I've known myself for doing this before, but luckily life has kind of taught me, hey, if that bridge or that situation has or hasn't worked out, let it go, learn from it, move forward. And that's basically what I've been forced to do lately. There was someone who was very near and dear to me, really cared about them a lot. We attempted to talk to each other, didn't work. Time passed, a couple years passed actually. Tried to talk again, still didn't work. Some more time passed. Okay, let's try it again. And it was me not realizing or not understanding that, hey, it's time to let this ship sail and accept it for what it is. And the acceptance was that bridge was broken. And there was no, as much as I was going to try to come back and build or fix it, there was no way to fix it. Like there are some, and this can even break down to just our bodies, our minds. There are some things that are going to break us. But in most instances and in most cases, we can come back from it and everything will work itself out. Looking at it from an athletic standpoint, players play in the NBA or play football, they get injuries. The toughest injury to experience or occur is an injury that you just had and you just came back from that injury and you re-aggravate or re-injure that same injury. There aren't but so many times you can fix that injury before it's, look, we've done everything we can. It's not that we're telling you you'll never walk again, because that's like a stretch of a worst case. But we also are telling you after this surgery, it might be time to just say, hey, I've done all I can. Let me go ahead and hang it up. I really think that we want to be healers, we want to be fixers, we want to have everything together, and we want things around us to just kind of all come together in one place. But the reality is, it's not going to always be that way. There are some times that you truly have to step back and say, hey, I've done all I can. I've given my best effort towards this. It's time for me to move on. Moving on is hard. Like I'm here to tell you, to speak from pure experience. It's a hard thing to do. Like moving on is not gonna ever be the easiest thing to experience, but you have to do it. And in doing so, you realize that it's beneficial to just kind of, I want to say, like I said, I usually use the term frequently, like take your losses. But it's really not even on the basis of taking your losses. It's just knowing like, hey, things went the way it did. This is the decision that I've made. And this is where I'm at. And sometimes that, once again, that can be a very tough choice or a tough decision. But you have to do it. And it's just that factor of whether you want to or not, or whether you're thinking of doing that or not, or whatever, however you look at it, you have to be firm and strong in your decision. And the last part of it is, I think, the part that stands out the most, because we want to make the decision, but we want the decision to be made, like we want the decision to be made the way we want it to. And it was something that I read, and I'm not sure where, I can't think of right offhand. I actually, my daily devotion I was doing today was for our daily bread, was related to how we go out looking for answers and looking for a way of something to work, and we get the answer that is given to us, but we don't like that answer because we want to get it. We want the answer that we feel we should be told. Segueing a little bit, but it ties into this point. I've dated, I've been involved with people, I've had friendships with people. Some friendships have worked great. Some friendships pretty much cleared themselves before they even got started. And it was one of those situations where, all right, I've crossed my end of the bridge. They're on the other side of the bridge. The bridge is broken. Is there a chance of me going back and trying to rebuild that bridge? No. Do I see them attempting to fix or work on building that bridge with me? No. So with those answers and those pieces being put into play, that's letting me know, and that's letting the situation kind of play itself out and confirming that, you know what? I'm okay with the decision. I've made my choice. I'm going to sleep with it, live with it, and move forward. So building broken bridges, there's two sides. And I know I'm kind of pressing and pushing the, if it's broke, don't fix it. But there are certain instances that a bridge can be broken and can have a chance, or a bridge can look like it might have broken and has no way of being fixed, but there's realistically a way of it being fixed. It's just the willingness of both parties coming together and resolving that fixture. So my official and legitimate closing is, you may or may not realize how consistent or inconsistent fixing bridges can or can't become. But if the bridge is meant to be fixed, it's going to fix itself. And if a situation comes about where you're forced to kind of take your losses and walk away and learn from it. I was given a very tall task, and I'm going to learn to work on this. There will be times that I may do podcasts and I may have discussions with you all, and I may make a point, but I may reiterate the point in 12 different ways. Y'all know it's not me intentionally acting like y'all know what's going on, but I might also be trying to do that to get the message to you all, like, hey, here's where it is, here's what's going on. Like, just be open and be honest and true to yourself. So that's what I'm gonna leave y'all with today. Like I said, I'm gonna be, as I always have learned, doing the podcast every day in April is always about just giving you a good story, giving you something quick to kind of think about and rolling with your days. So if you like the shows, definitely leave a comment. You can leave comments on Spreaker. If you have any feedback, iTunes is definitely the way. That way I kind of can measure and see what I'm doing right, what I need to work on. Because without that, I have no content that I really can address with you all. So that's what I got for today. Thanks for tuning in. As always, the past signing out. Be prepared for tomorrow's show. Will be a bit of a reminiscing moment, so definitely want to tune in for that. And until next time, y'all take it easy. The one point of the show I don't like to reach, but every show must have an ending. So you have made it to the end of yet another episode of the podcast Every Day in April. Continue to tune in. These will be going on from April the 1st until April the 30th. And I will guarantee you that there will be plenty of content and more than enough information to share and address during this show. Thanks for tuning in.